most especially my honorable colleagues, members of the Kano State Caucus in the National Assembly, both the Senate and members of the House of Representatives that are here present. Let me make use of this opportunity to first of all thank each and every one of you for having found time to be here, despite the challenges we have, challenges of movement, and in fact, challenges to do with the care of ourselves as individuals. We have decided to convene this meeting this afternoon in the light of the ongoing health crisis in our state, Kano, the state of Kano. It is quite unfortunate that the COVID-19 has hit Kano so hard that we are now becoming the most vulnerable and frontline stage in the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And for those of us that are representative of the people of Kano State at the center here in the National Assembly, we feel we have that obligation. We are under moral and official obligations to sit, discuss among ourselves, and see how we can come up with possible solutions in terms of providing for interventions for our people, for and on behalf of the government and the people of Kano State. It is in the light of this that even with the House of Representatives reconvening plenary tomorrow, we have taken time among ourselves, discussed the need for us to come up with a strongly worded motion to seek for serious intervention from the federal government and other private donors to come to the aid of our state, Kano. What is happening in Kano is indeed alarming. What is happening today in Kano is indeed a disaster. I think I may not be wrong if I say that what is happening in Kano is now catastrophic. It is catastrophic, and we feel at this moment, at this particular time in point, we must have to weigh in as representative of the people to take a robust and proactive action by way of providing legislative intervention and call for attention of the federal government and every other donor agencies, private and otherwise, that we need help of the people of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. We need the help and intervention of the government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria so that we can be able to curtail the spread, especially community transmission of this COVID-19, which is becoming very ravaging and demoralizing in our state. We have been recording strange and mysterious deaths among our communities. We are also recording a lot of other cases. Of course, with the lockdown, naturally like every other place in the Federation, with the lockdown and the amount of the number of population we have, certainly you will expect a lot of strange things. But definitely we as members of the House of Representatives have come to believe that Kano is actually in a desperate situation. And under this desperate situation, part of our responsibility as members of the House of Representatives is that we must also have to put in place desperate measures and decisions to check the spread of this menace among our communities and among our people. We have decided also to write a letter, official letter, on behalf of the people of Kano State and the government of Kano State to His Excellency, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, for all reasons and purposes, to draw the attention of His Excellency, Mr. President, to what is actually on ground and the need for federal government to engage in collaboration with the state government and the governor of the state to see how they can fighting, combating this menace once and for all. Kano, of course, is a frontline state, like I said, and whatever comes to Kano, as far as the north is concerned, that connectivity in terms of commercial dealings, that connectivity in terms of our social activities and engagements with other sister states in the north will make it very demoralizing, and it will be getting out of hand. We want to use this opportunity to thank the governor of the state, Dr. Abdullahi Umar Ganduje, for what he has done so far in curtailing the spread of this COVID-19, in the amount of resources he has been releasing to the system to check the spread of this disease. But it is our belief also that the state government and the federal government needs to actually do more in terms of funding for the facilities and also providing more testing centers to check the spread of this menace in our state. We have collectively agreed to come up with a very strong motion tomorrow on the floor of the House of Representatives in the light of our reconvening tomorrow. All we are doing in the discharge of our primary responsibilities as members representing the interests of our own people, especially when it borders in the provision of welfare and health facilities of our own people. It is unfortunate that things are getting the way they are going in Kano, but I feel with the kind of engagement we are having today, part of which we have engaged some private and volunteer medical personnel from across the Federation, that we have engaged them. They have also briefed us professionally as to how to go about it. It is also our intention that at the end of this meeting and engagement with the health officials that we met today, and some of our members, we agreed that we move back to Kano to go and engage the state government and the governor, engage the special medical staffs we have in the state, so that we can give this menace the kind of attention, the kind of robust engagement it deserves. Because the purpose and the intent of every government in place is to provide the social well-being and welfare of its own people. Protection of life and security of the people is the most important thing for every government. And I believe the situation in Kano deserves this attention and it deserves this engagement. This morning or yesterday night, we decided to now come and engage this crisis at this level at the center, because we really need the attention of the government back to Kano. We have to engage the PTF, the Presidential Task Force on COVID-19, headed by the SGF, the Secretary General, the SGF. And we have all engaged our constituents in every form of ramifications. We have engaged them in terms of sensitization, enlightened them for the need to comply with the social distancing, and that has gone a very, very long way. Our people are getting much, much more enlightened than before. And I want to tell you that we have done that part of our responsibility. And that is why we have now decided to now come back and engage relevant agencies of government, especially Mr. President, for them to see reason as to why Kano should be given a special treatment. Not only because we are now high on the pedestals of the records of COVID-19 cases, no. Consider the population we have in Kano. Look at the number of local governments we have. Look at also the vulnerability and physical connectivity between Kano and other states in the north. It is a commercial nerve center. It's a cosmopolitan city where you have every caliber of Nigerian there. The Yorubas are there. The Igbos are there. The BPOs are there. Every set of tribe of Nigeria is represented in Kano as a cosmopolitan Asian city. And for that reason, we want to believe that it is not a partisan engagement. The COVID-19 we are talking about has no respecter of political alienation. It has no respecter for tribal alienation, no religious implications. It is something that we must have to address aggressively, collectively, so that we can save the lives and welfare of our own people. That is just the point about it, and this is the point we are making. Thank you, and God bless you.